Hello, everyone. Welcome to Artistically Married, where art and opportunity collide. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman.
And Brienne Steinberg. Holy, I felt like you were like rushing, like power speaking. You gonna rush today?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't because it's just us today.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to do a quick shout out to you guys. It means everything that we have people that are tuning in to the podcast. It really does make a difference for us. It makes what we're doing worthwhile. We're trying to keep this commercial free for you guys. So if you guys want to do us a huge favor, like and subscribe on the episode. You can check out our YouTube channel. And the other single best way to support us is to send this to somebody you know that would really enjoy it. So if you guys can think in your minds of someone that's really into art or starting their own art business, specifically Mandalas, send it to them. Wow. Out of the gates.
All right.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Yeah, what are we talking about today?
I don't know. What are we talking about today? We're talking about Jake's art.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah. At the end, we're starting with a look at the history and theory of mandalas. Yeah,
totally. And that's what you would categorize your art, right?
Some of it.
Oh.
Yes.
That's true.
It's definitely not all mandalas, but there is, something that drew me to draw them.
Yeah. What would you call the other stuff? Like sacred geometry? I just wonder because people ask me all the time and I'm like, my husband's an artist. They're like, oh, what's he draw? I'm like,
Yeah.
I say mandalas now, but I didn't know what mandalas were for a long time. So I'm excited about this episode. So yeah, mandalas, this is just kind of like an overview. So if you guys don't know what mandalas are, they basically start in the center. Do you want to describe it? I'm going to butcher it. And then I'll do kind of the more abstract thought process behind people's like analysis of them.
Well, this is a good little write-up of it. But yeah, I would describe a mandala as a circle containing repetitive patterns, and your goal is symmetry overall, and as it expands outward it remains symmetrical throughout the whole process.
Cool. So it starts from the middle at like a single focal point and then like echoes out.
Yeah. Typically you start in the middle and you work your way out and it just grows and expands. Right. And I really love it because it's this, you do a little piece of creativity and then you repeat it around the circle, and then you do another little bit of creativity and then you repeat that around the circle. So you have this flow from creative intuition into like mapping and geometry, and then creative intuition and then mapping and geometry. And the goal is obviously, to keep it as symmetrical as you can.
Right. And then, when you're doing something that's like super repetitive, I guess that probably brings you into a place that's like more of meditation, right? Because you don't have to think about it a lot when you're doing that repetitive part. Yeah,
definitely. And sometimes you'll get stuck on like the next step, like what's going to work next to these things. And then the creative part becomes difficult. But then as you're repeating these shapes or patterns around the circle, you're in this meditative state, and you kind of you're kind of processing what's going to happen next, and it's helpful. You don't have to make all the decisions at once. But
it's
sometimes
exciting.
you can go into it with all the plan ahead of time, right?
I guess, different than, we're going to get into this later in the episode, but I'm just picturing like kind of the difference between like a surreal artist being like, and they know what they're going to paint right from the beginning, right? Or draw. They're like, okay, I'm going to make this picture and I want it to look like this thing that I know what it is. Yeah. Not to diminish it, but you're right. It's a different process because the mandala is kind of like going through those like waves or that flow of like, think about what you're going to do and then replicate it.
Yeah. I'll go into a mandala with like a very basic idea of a theme that I want to do.
Cool.
But then I'll have absolutely no idea what the result is going to look like until you get there.
Yeah, that's exciting. All right. So mandalas hold a quiet but profound power, is what people think. Their circular form symbolizes wholesomeness, unity, and the infinite nature of life itself. When you create or observe a mandala, your mind naturally slows down, drawn into the rhythm of symmetry and repetition. This process can feel deeply grounding, almost like meditation in motion, as we mentioned. Each line, shape, and pattern becomes a reflection of your inner state, revealing emotions, thoughts, and energy that words often cannot express. In a world that constantly pulls us outward, mandalas gently guide us back inwards to stillness, balance, and presence. Oh, I love that. So cute. Yeah, it was someone's, I forget, I should have gotten the quote, like who it was from, but yeah, I think it's a really great, like we said, it's a great meditative tool as an artist. So yeah, we're going to get into him a little bit more, but the inspiration of mandalas lie in their ability to transform the creator and obviously the people who observe it afterwards. So it really came to light. We're going to talk about some of the, like geographical significance that came out of, or like kind of the progression that mandalas came through in terms of the spirituality and the history behind them. But Carl Jung was a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and he really brought these to light. He started using them a lot when representing the self, and he really started using it as a tool in his therapy as like a healing and a self-discovery method with his patients. So his idea was that when you create a mandala, that you're not just creating art, that you're really mapping out your inner landscape. And he was trying to teach his patients that there's no right or wrong way, and I'm sure you can emulate this.
Oh, definitely.
There's no wrong way to do it. So it's really exciting because sometimes, when you're trying to draw something or color something, you can be like, oh wow, those legs look too long, or the eyes are bulging out of the head, or something. It looks weird.
You're trying to draw a cat and that doesn't look like a cat.
Right, exactly. So I think it's really exciting to anyone who doesn't consider themselves great at doing like surreal art, that this is something that it's more of a therapy, right? It's more of like a art expression as opposed to like doing it right or wrong, or being like, specific to what you're trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. It can be as abstract, or even you can put real elements into it. And as long as you're fine repeating those patterns all the time, then you're good. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. So yeah, Carl Jung, again, we mentioned, he would basically use the mandala for the client or for his patient. He would use it to kind of chart their visual growth, their growth, their resilience, and their transformation. So again, he was doing therapy. He was doing like psychological therapy on people. So they were probably coming in, feeling chaos or, brokenness, trying to like find a way out of it, or trying to create harmony, I think, within their mental state, which, I mean, we're at a time in history where it's more than ever, it's so pronounced that people are struggling with these mental health issues. It's huge. It's such a hot button topic. People are coming forward talking about their depression and anxiety and all these like really uncomfortable feelings. So I think this could be something more than ever that people could pick up as like a therapeutic method to be able to do it at home by themselves. Yeah,
and I guess it probably was one of those things that he started to notice patterns where when you would see similar things popping up with people who had similar problems, like there probably is some kind of unconscious thing that's going on when you're drawing this thing that is coming out from inside you to create this work of art, right?
Yeah. I love that they call it like sacred geometry, because I feel like we see it all the time in nature, right? You'll go in nature and you'll see these like formations of mandalas that are happening naturally in nature.
Yeah, that is what sacred geometry is the phi ratio 1.618, and things like the spirals that we can see, like the Fibonacci sequence and stuff like that. It's these repetitive patterns that just manifest themselves in nature.
Yeah, and they must be rooted in our brain too, the same way they are in a honeycomb or a flower petal, right? Like they're existing in our brains, the images.
The most common symbol is the flower of life, and that's really become popular again with yoga and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And but that's a symbol that's been found all over the world. It's like laser etched in the Osirion, a temple in Egypt, and they're not sure how it got there or how they made it, but it's just kind of stamped on one of these columns.
So crazy.
But it's found everywhere. It's found in Turkey. It's found in like the Americas. It's ubiquitous. But that was actually how I started drawing. Was I would take that shape and then just kind of connect the dots, and those are my first art drawings.
Nice. We're gonna talk about those.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so let's just go through a little bit of his teachings, because I think, again, like you had mentioned, he's probably seeing, you know, thousands of patients, and he was able to kind of connect some of the art that he was seeing, the mandalas that the patients were creating, and some of their testimonies. So how, you know, they were what they were thinking about while they were drawing that, right? And so he started making correlations and cohesions between them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Jung believed that beyond our personal memories, that humans share a deeper layer called the collective unconsciousness. We've talked about this many times. What did I say? Unconsciousness. Oh.
Just collective unconscious.
I like the unconsciousness.
Sure.
I'm ready for bed. Just kidding. Yeah, so he said it was like this universal reservoir of symbols, patterns, archetypes that all people have inherently. And this is why that the symbols, like their circles and mandalas, appear across cultures. And you were saying that too, right? Where we see it like geographically popping up across like multiple different locations. So it must be something that's like embedded in the unconscious. We've had conversations like this a ton on the podcast. It just seems so wild that humans have this connection mentally that we've either turned away from, or we just don't discuss it as much anymore, right? These like collective or universal conscience that we don't discuss as much. It used to be, I think, something that was more in a culture, something like, you know, psychicism, telepathy. It's still, you know, it's talked about, but it's kind of more in like subcultures.
Yeah.
It's not our mainstream thought process that people have the ability to do this.
No, I don't think so. But whether we like it or not, I feel like we definitely have it. When I feel like with social media, you kind of get a glimpse of something like that. You can kind of just see what, even though it's the worst way. It's,
viral videos?
No, just, you know, people taking in news and then spouting out their opinions. But you can kind of see this whole collective has this feeling, you know?
Yeah.
And something will happen, and then all of a sudden it's a bad feeling, and everybody's putting out this like bad energy because they're not happy with what's going on. And then, you know, maybe something great can happen, and then it kind of changes this whole, like, it changes as a collective, like, rather than just, you know, individually.
Absolutely. Yeah. They call it like the hive mind.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, yeah, we've gone to like this more tangible. I don't know if it was just, you know, the generation of education and we want concrete evidence to everything. Like if you can't measure it, then it's not real. That's kind of gone away from it. But you're right. There's some things that are just undeniable. I was thinking of like a similar experience where, you know, some wild thing gets discovered, and then all of a sudden like everyone's discovering it, right? So it's like popping up all over the world. So I'm like, that's kind of the same hive mind, is that one person does it, now everyone's doing it.
Yeah, people have argued that that's actually a collective unconscious argument, is that it just took like one person to discover this thing, and then all of a sudden everybody knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Because
they're tapping into that.
The way it seems to happen like that, it'll be like two people in different places will pretty much discover the same thing, and then this guy's like, I did it first, and this guy's like, I did it first.
And they almost did it at the same time. Yeah. They downloaded from each other. I love that. Okay, so yeah, Carl Jung was talking about archetypes. So I was just looking at this like before we started the episode. So an archetype typically is just like it's a working model. So it's like it could really be anything that like people have developed various archetypes based on, you know, patterns, universal patterns of human behavior that they're seeing. Yeah. So, you know, he wasn't the first person to do something like this, but he really did relate it to the mandala.
All right.
So yeah, we're gonna go through them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to start?
All right. So yeah, the first is the self, or the integrated whole, and that can obviously be represented by a mandala. It's basically everything that is inside is contained within this circle, right? Yeah. And so yeah, the self is the most important archetype. It represents your complete whole identity, the integration of your conscious and unconscious mind. It's the true you beneath roles, expectations, and fear. It represents balance, harmony, and inner alignment.
I thought it was funny that he was saying, yeah, I think mandalas are so exciting because really, like, you know, lots of times you look at them and it just looks like chaos, you know, it's like a big web. It's wild. I was thinking about when we went to Cosm. If for anybody who hasn't listened to our Alex and Allison Gray, we have a couple episodes on them, but we had been there. And they have this like vision. It's part of the sacred mirrors. It's part of the psychicism part of the sacred mirrors. And he talks about the mind lattice. What was that? Mind lattice, I think. Universal mind lattice. Yeah. So I'm just looking at like the web of a mandala, and it looks so like messy and chaotic and crazy.
It can.
Yeah. But again, it's kind of like
just like flower petals.
Right. Yeah, I guess it depends. You're right. They could be really like peaceful, but again, it represents the whole self. So I think when you zoom in on individual parts, it looks so peaceful and in balance and unity. But then kind of from far back, it can look really chaotic. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
So I thought that was like a really great representation of the whole person and all the things that encompasses you as a person.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the second one he talked about as an archetype is the shadow. It's like the hidden side. So, you have these parts of yourself that you suppress or you deny or you even hide. There's things like, any bad feelings, really. If you're feeling like fearful or angry or jealous, and I think this is a really, again, I bring it back to what's happening right now with this, like, our mental health epidemic, I would call it, because we are hiding these feelings. We're hiding like these bad feelings and we want them to go away. And that's why people end up, feeling so, because they're not letting them out. They're not finding these strategies to like take the shadows out. So I feel like it could be a really good tool to be recognizing the things in yourself that you are hiding. And that is represented by the shadowing within the mandala.
Yeah.
Also, really, like, this one really hit to me, and I feel like I'm getting so much better at it, but I think that there was this time in my life where I was, like, hiding my talents. Like, I never wanted, like, anyone to feel bad that was, like, sitting beside me. Does that make sense? So, like, sometimes it's not bad things that you're hiding. Sometimes you're hiding, like, your positive qualities and your good things because, like, you don't want to make people around you feel jealous. Like, it's a real thing in human nature. I always laugh when I see somebody like driving around in like a Lamborghini because I'm just like, everyone hates you, like it's just you're driving this like crazy nice car and I don't know, it's a jealousy feeling, right, that you're invoking in other people. I don't know. I had lots of times in my life where I like didn't want to make someone feel bad, so I like kind of dimmed my light because I didn't want to make people around me feel less than. So it can be anything that you feel like you're kind of hiding. Someone who avoids confrontation may have like a powerful, confident shadow waiting to emerge. So that's kind of the idea behind the shadow.
Yeah. Then we have the persona, which is the mask that you show the world. The persona is a version of yourself that you present to others, and it helps you function in society. It's your social identity. It protects your inner self. Problems happen when you over-identify with it and forget your true self. So yeah, I guess, it's the mask.
Yep. It's kind of what you're showing other people.
Whatever you need to be to help you function in society, sure. So Sometimes that can be a great thing. Sometimes that cannot be so great.
Yeah. I think there's like certain, what's it called? Like code switching, like you're not going to talk to me the same way you're going to talk to your kids, the way you're going to talk to your coworker. I think there's certain expectations like out in the world where, it's not beneficial for you to show certain personas or like certain things. So that kind of makes sense to me. You're not going to be like crazy. I'm not going to go in the classroom and act crazy and wild because the kids are going to like lose respect for me. Right. I got to like keep the mask on. So again, it's just, the representation. So he was saying, that this is, I think he was like talking about the contrast between shadowing and what you see. So I love in a mandala that you kind of see those like, it's like plus minus, you see the contrast between like areas of nothing and areas of lines and shapes and shadows. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what he was comparing between those two.
And yeah, they're just roles. It's not your full identity. So it's only a part.
Yeah. Portions of you and like how you identify yourself to the world.
Sure.
Yeah. This one I don't really understand, but I'm going to explain it to you guys anyways, and hopefully you can understand it. But yeah, it's basically like he was talking about the anima and the animus, and it's the your different energies. It was saying like anima is like the female energy within a man. So things like intuition, emotion, or creativity. And then the animus is the masculine energy within a woman, which is logic, action, and structure. And again, I just saw that as kind of like the balance between the like plus and minus. So like when you're looking at a mandala, there's areas that are colored in and there's areas that are not. And the idea behind it is that you're using, you know, both your emotional intuition and your discipline execution to create the balance within the art piece.
Definitely. Yeah, it's like the yin and yang, right?
Yeah, exactly. Again, I was a little unsure what he meant, but that's my guess.
Yeah, and balanced people will integrate both of those sides.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, this one is the hero, the part that grows through challenge. So the hero archetype represents courage, growth, and overcoming obstacles. It pushes you to evolve, it faces fear, and transforms through struggle. It's activated when you step outside your comfort zone.
I'm actually obsessed with this right now. A whole bunch of motivational business people, podcasters are always talking about this, to be able to like tap into your hero, to be able to, you know, do things that are really scary. And they're like, every day, you know, if it's something that pops into your head and you think, oh, I should do this, but I'm scared, then like right away do it. Like they're basically saying, you know, that it's a muscle and you need to flex it like as soon as possible. Don't get like stuck in the overwhelm of like, oh, I can't do this, you know, like you start to like tell yourself all the reasons why. It's going to cost money. It's going to cost time. You know, I'm have to watch my kids tonight. I can't do it. So I think just being able to like tap into that hero archetype is like really exciting as a business owner and as an artist for sure. Because there's lots of reasons why you'd be like, oh, you know, I don't have time to do this. And you want to just like, you know, flex that muscle and make sure you do it. So yeah, this will happen for people when they're starting a business, starting an art piece, maybe sharing their art publicly, which we're going to get into with your art. Even just like reinventing yourself. You become a parent. Like there's just so many things that happen in your life where you have to like, you know, step up and be a hero. Especially when you have kids. They're afraid of everything. Okay, cool. The old wise man. Again, I really love this one. It's like your inner wisdom. The older you get, the more you have this really calm, peaceful insight and guidance. And again, I think this comes back to that feeling of like hiding. Like I felt like in my teenage years or my 20s, like I was always trying to, you know, shadow the things that I was too afraid to like step up and step into like things that I was confident in. And now as like you get older, then you see clearly and you have so much experience to tap into. So you just reflect back on the fact that like you've already done all these things. Like you've been there, you know it. So yeah, it's really great. It's a really nice thing to do to age, especially as an artist, because you can get into these leadership positions and then mentor other people. Yeah. That are trying to look for this, you know, wisdom experience.
It's interesting though. This is saying it appears as intuition and it can help you see truth clearly. So even sometimes you just have that wise man archetype show up, even if maybe you're young and all of a sudden you just know the right thing to do without knowing why, right?
Oh, 100%. Like it's wild. Sometimes we'll see it in our kids. Where like I'm fighting with something and I'm trying to figure it out and like the kids will just step in and like just tap into it. I'm like, how did you know how to do that? And they're just like, oh, I was listening to my intuition. You know, I'm just doing what I thought was the right thing to do in this scenario. It's really cool. You're right. It doesn't have to be an age thing, but I definitely think, you know, by the name of it, it happens more often when you're older because you have so much experience to tap into.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's more innate. The answers are more like obvious.
Like Avatar.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best. I love Avatar.
Yeah, the last one is the child, creativity and authenticity. The child archetype represents innocence, curiosity, and creative energy. It's playful and imaginative. It creates freely without fear of judgment. It connects you to joy and wonder. And yeah, that is just the freedom of creating art in the first place. It does bring you back to that childlike, do what you want kind of, no job mentality.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, you wake up in the morning like, what should I do with my day? You know, that's the child.
I'm bored.
Yeah. Well, you hope not. But yeah, I think that's fun, again, watching our kids grow up, like seeing, you know, that archetype in full force, just seeing kids, the way they operate. Like, they don't have a care in the world. They're like, money, what money?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really fun between those two to kind of, and like you said, it doesn't matter your age, you're always bouncing between these two archetypes within you. So there's, you know, the old wise man that's like, no, you shouldn't do this, you know, you might get hurt or something bad might come of it. And then you got the child, they're kind of battling each other, which is just like, no, let's have fun, let's, you know, do it anyways, it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, and then he really just he was, I guess anyone can think about these archetypes and how they matter for us as artists, and especially people who are creating mandalas, because Jung thought that there was like this big correlation between if you're dealing with something and how you're going to draw he would get them to draw a mandala, and it was kind of showing all these different archetypes and how they're feeling at any given time. And then I think longitudinally, I was reading about the studies he was doing. He would ask them a series of questions and then have them draw the mandala, and he would give them kind of some tools, give them some instructions, and then he would kind of measure and then compare as people were going through, you know, various therapies or various times and transitions and transformations in their life, how they would draw their shapes differently.
Yeah. We did that little mandala drawing class with it was like Anna's birthday or something, or maybe it was one of the studio events. Oh yeah. I think maybe it was Anna's birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like drawing them with the kids?
Yeah, so they all drew a mandala, and we basically had it set up for them. So they had a template that made it easy. And then I just told the kids, like, draw some shapes and then try and copy it around. And it was funny because I think there was 2 kids that just kind of just drew all over the place. They were old enough that they could have followed the instructions, but they didn't. And they just wanted to just draw stuff wherever. Yeah. And then that's kind of funny too, because it is art. You can do whatever you want with it, and it's not like it's wrong or bad.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a replicating pattern.
Yeah. So to me, that just shows somebody who doesn't have the ability to like hold their attention on something, right?
Or oppositional, like they're like, don't tell me what to do, I'm going to do what I want, you know? Yeah. But I think as a psychologist, as a therapist, like what you're trying to do with a client or a patient, and what I'm trying to do with kids anytime they're doing art, is to express themselves, you know, tap in. And the fact that he was like kind of doing this and finding correlations between them was really cool. So he was just considering that like it was a way to like see into the psyche naturally, visualize kind of how it organizes itself, and then see how it progresses when people are going through hard times or going through emotional change. They can kind of see the difference in their mandalas and see the balance emerge within themselves, and then also simultaneously emerge in their art. Yep. Yeah, he was like really interested in this idea of individual or individuation, being like the lifelong process of becoming your true whole self and integrating all the parts so that you feel like you're a balanced person. I always think this is really funny. I think we see this too in like the Tao, and like we see it a lot in Buddhism.
I think so.
Where they're trying to find nirvana. You're trying to get
about balance.
Yeah, you're trying to get to this feeling of balance. But I think it's really interesting because I don't know if it's just me or it's, you know, being female or being human, is just like it's never permanent. I think it's never permanent until you die, you know. Every day, every minute you're going through these like crazy hormone changes in your body, and they really change your mind. Like you wake up some days feeling like you're so peaceful, like it's just the most peaceful, you know, you're living the peaceful life kind of thing. You're in balance, you're in harmony. And then other times you wake up like a tornado. You just feel like insane. You're like, I could, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, things change all the time. Yeah. You know, people will attribute that to astrology and stuff like that. Oh, this planet's in the wrong spot, so I'm a lunatic.
Yeah, totally. But I just don't know about it being like a process of like you get to it and then you're like, okay, check, yeah, we're done. Like I got to it, like Nirvana or something. I think like you could, you can have moments. You can have times where you feel really great and in check, and then yeah, like you said, one wrong moon and you're crazy. So I think so we didn't say the years, but he was like living from, I don't know, 1860 to 1970.
He died in the 60s, I think.
He died in the 60s?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So like well, first of all, he lived like 90 years, but yeah, just I'm just thinking about what was happening in the 60s, what was happening in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Different world.
Of course, it's always a different world.
I know. I'm just trying to keep in mind for people that are kind of imagining this today and just being like, oh yeah, I go into therapy, and the guy's like, come on, doodle. Yeah. Maybe that does happen today. I don't know. We haven't been to therapy.
Yeah.
Maybe we should.
Nah.
Just leave me insane, thanks.
Yeah.
I like it. So I think it's prevalent today. It still holds true today because it is really using art and creativity as a tool to kind of help with emotional and mental, it's helping with your emotional intelligence. So yeah, I think it still is really great today. And yeah, I wonder if it is, you don't have to go to a therapist to do it, which is cool. Just get out a piece of paper, draw a dot and start drawing out around it.
Yeah.
It can be really symbolic of what you're going through at the time. It
is very therapeutic if you have the time to do it.
Yeah. For me, yeah, just that like sitting down long, focusing on anything, I think is really hard.
Yeah. It's nice though.
Yeah.
You could take the hour watching TV at the end of the night and do that. It's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm amongst the typical with no attention.
Could be.
Screens causing ADHD. # screens causing ADHD.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this brings us to increase in emotional intelligence. I think this is so important. We were talking about this with John McGowan. He was here a few months ago, and we were talking about what happens when AI starts to be so prevalent in our society? What happens when AI is, taking jobs that you didn't have before, and like, where does that leave humans in terms of their contribution to the world? And I think, yeah, the Mandala, develops this emotional, this spiritual intelligence. Like I was just mentioning, it can really help you become more aware of your inner world. It can really be a therapeutic tool for someone to be able to slow down, and maybe we need to practice focusing on something that is therapeutic and is meditative.
It takes a long time.
It takes a very long time, like sometimes 100 hours.
Well, yeah, you don't have to go as crazy as me, but even just like spending 8 hours to complete one, it's a feeling that you don't feel all the time accomplishing something like that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
For sure.
So yeah, again, in the business world, especially, they talk a lot about these like mindful states, white noise also, where you just have like time to like think and process your thoughts. I think it's a luxury to be able to do those things. So, yeah, I think drawing the mandalas allows you this time to like spend with yourself so that you can observe, maybe the colors or the shapes or the patterns, and watch how they change over time. And that process itself will build your emotional intelligence, which is, it's really wild to think about, that you're just like drawing and the progression of your drawing. And we're going to talk about this too when it comes to your art. So it does, it gives you this understanding of, regulating your emotions, noticing patterns in your art and yourself and how that kind of changes as you transform, gives you the ability to have self-awareness. And like I said, just having that emotional growth is so powerful. All right, so yeah, let's talk about some of the origins of mandalas, because we really have seen them forever. Like you had mentioned, lots of geographical sites, even in like really early like writing and hieroglyphics, you can see some of these things being practiced. So yeah, they say mandalas originated in India. They've been practiced there. They've been used in spiritual teachings for thousands of years in Hindu and the Buddhist faith, as again these sacred symbols. So the word mandala actually comes from the ancient Indian word. It's a Sanskrit word, and it means circle or sacred center. And in India, mandalas are created as tools for, like we said before, meditation, spiritual guidance, rituals, ceremonies, and just again the Indian practice, or the Hindu and the Buddhism, see it as representing the whole universe. So I thought it was interesting that Jung kind of came in and made it to represent the self, whereas in India it's always kind of represented the whole universe, which again, people make that parallel between the human mind being like, it's your whole universe. It feels like a whole universe when it's just in your body. So interesting that he made it into like the individual, whereas the Buddhist faith sees it as like, a really universal practice.
Yeah.
Now you can see it again. Now it's kind of gone into more in like, it's traveled through Asian countries. So now it's spread places like Nepal, Tibet, China, and Japan. You also see, big in the within the Tibetan monks, in terms, I think any practice that's into like meditation and that spiritual enlightening, you're going to see this mandalas practiced.
Yeah, well, I forget if it's a Barak or a Samsara, but I think the Tibetan monks doing a sand mandala is videoed in there.
Oh, yeah.
And the sand mandala is all about the impermanence. So you do this very intricate drawing made out of sand that takes them hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost immediately as they finish, like they'll finish it and then they just sweep it up and like wipe it away. We
did that at Kazam.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Yeah, we've gone a few times. We've talked about it again. There's episodes on it about Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. And yeah, this is like one of the things that they'll do at the full moon ceremonies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is really powerful. And it's fun to do as a group too. It's fun that it's not like, it's fun that it's a group project.
For sure.
Everybody's adding on each other's things. So like you were saying about the creativity and starting it, is that, yeah, it's really interesting when like you're adding on each other's work. It's cool. Okay. So yeah, we're going to get more into your stuff, more into your individual art. So now that we kind of have an idea of what mandalas look like, again, they're used worldwide now, so it's becoming kind of a spiritual staple. Definitely yoga brought it everywhere. Now they're all over yoga mats, so
yeah,
it's becoming a lot more popular.
I think it's a great thing. Yeah, even the flower of life, like it's good to see that more and more places, even if people don't have a full grasp of what it is.
Yeah,
it's still helpful that it's there.
Yeah, 100%. And again, anything that we're going to connect to like mindfulness, meditation, like the state, I was talking about that before, but yeah, in the business world, they're constantly talking about being in this like flow state, or, anything that's like going to breed these creative ideas. So if you can get yourself into that state and this is a way to do it, just do it, right? It's going to be so healing. Okay. So do you want to take us back to your art as a child?
Yeah. Do we want to take a break first?
Sure.
Kind of like the two halves of the whole.
Okay.
And we'll be back.
thanks so much for all your support over the last year tuning in. We love having you guys join in. And if you know an artist that would benefit from hearing this episode, we strongly urge you or ask that you send it along to someone that's in the art community that could benefit from hearing all about mandalas, which is what we're talking about today. So again, Jacob's been doing mandalas since
2013, 2014.
Okay. Whoa. Over 10 years.
Yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, why don't you, I was actually just thinking about this when I was prepping for this episode, but yeah, did you do art as a kid? Like when we met and we were 20, no. You weren't doing like visual art. I mean, you've always been making music and
I wasn't, actually I was
more... You were being a clothes designer?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I was always good at drawing and I liked doing it.
Yeah, you must have had it like in school.
Yeah, but it wasn't great. Like I would just say like, I like to do it and I was all right at it, but I wasn't like the best in my class. There was people who were like awesome drawers and
right.
But I don't know. I always enjoyed art.
Yeah.
But I never like did art.
Yeah.
Like come up with something creative in your head and put it out on paper. So when I was a kid, I was just like, oh, let's draw a picture of an airplane or whatever you're into at the time.
Yeah.
But it was never this focus on like a artistic process, right?
Right. Was it in your house? I feel like 5 boys. It must have just been like...
Oh, of course.
A lot of energy.
There's coloring books and paper and...
Yeah.
Well, yeah. My grandfather was an artist, like my opa. So he was a watercolor painter and, well, he did acrylic and oil as well.
Amazing.
But he was an excellent artist and is known somewhat in the Niagara region.
Yeah. What was his name?
He taught art. Well, Tony Ackerman.
Right. I'm just thinking some of the listeners might have heard of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He taught at Niagara College?
Yeah, he taught art for a while.
Yeah.
So he was amazing, and we would play these fun games. Like he would get you to just draw a scribble, and then he would make a picture out of it.
What?
So you could draw like you would try and draw like the weirdest looking scribble, and then he would just turn it into something, and it would look like a good drawing at the end of it, right?
So fun. Yeah, he's so good.
He really was. But yeah, and I kind of kick myself now because he passed away obviously when I was about, I think, in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I missed that opportunity to learn. I would have loved to know how to do watercolors and oils like he did, but
I know there is like such an education behind it.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get on the YouTube and watch Bob Ross.
Oh, for sure. There's plenty of people who can teach me to paint, but it just would have been cool to like directly pass it down,
100%.
Like learn from the master.
Yeah, and even I mean, I don't know how much like there was teaching involved, but his daughter Astrid, like your Aunt Astrid,
yep,
she has like a similar style and she does like her watercolors, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there is like part of, someone teaching you how to do it where the style can like transcend, right? Like that's, I feel like, is the education part. Maybe not. Maybe it can be like an intuitive thing, just like a natural in you that you're like paint the same way, like a style. I bet you that happens.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like because they taught you how to do the technique, or it's just like in your DNA to have the same style as like your parent or grandparent.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, how would you describe your grandpa's paintings? Like what style was it?
It wasn't realism, but it also wasn't abstract as well. Like he was, I guess you would call it like impressionistic, but it wasn't, it was more close to realism.
Yeah.
But the way he would paint, if you look at the painting up close, you can see there's a lot of, blobs of paint as
textures?
The painting is. But then he said when you look at the painting from 12 feet away, then it'll look like a picture, right? And he would basically be recreating a picture. But if you're too close, you can see like the imperfections in it. And then as you back away, all the kind of blurriness and blotchiness of the paint creates like that image that he was creating, right?
Yeah, that always boggled my mind. We've had two really amazing painters, Jeff Farnsworth and Emily Andrews, and both of them kind of just talked about that, how they're, you're painting up close, your arm's only so long, so then every whatever, I don't know how often, but you'd have to kind of step back to that 12 away to that 12-foot range to be able to like see what it's turning out to be.
Definitely. And even doing the mandalas can be like that as well. And I like to get like very small and intricate.
Yeah.
And when you're like looking at this tiny little section of the paper, and then when you back away, like you barely see those parts, but then that's what makes it fun, is you can kind of dive into it. Yeah.
I can always see people looking at your art, and they'll like look from far back and they're like, wow, like that's amazing. And then right away they go like nose to it, right? Yeah. Like where they just want to look at like every part and look at it like up close.
Yeah. Because
it's so exciting. There's just so much detail, which does make it hard to make prints, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on how you're printing it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're blowing it up. Especially when you're blowing it up to the size of a pyramid.
Yeah.
We did that last year. Or 2 years ago now? Yeah, 2 years ago was the night of art.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I guess take us back to like what inspired you to start doing it 11 years ago.
Yeah, I started when I moved up north, and honestly, I just saw this YouTube video. Mm-hmm. I was, I guess I still do, but I like looking into conspiracies like deep on the internet late at night, and it's just, I don't know, it was always fun for me to go through that, and then through that you just get into all sorts of different rabbit holes, and I came across this one guy who was talking about sacred geometry. I think he brought up Carl Jung and stuff like that. And he was kind of explaining the mechanisms, explaining some of the more famous symbols like the flower of life and stuff like that. And then just at the end of the video, he's just like, you should just try it for yourself. So I was sitting there and I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay, I'll just try it.
Amazing.
And I drew a picture, and I like loved doing it, and I loved how it turned out. And then I was just kept, and then I drew another one, and then I drew another one, and then I drew another one.
Wow.
And at first it was they were simple and they didn't take as long,
right?
And I could do them pretty quick. And I remember I like filled up a binder of just these drawings that they only took an hour or two,
right?
So I could just batch them out, and I kept having more and more ideas of the next thing I wanted to do, and the next way I wanted to do it, and the next way I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And then just boom, 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 boom. So I'd be like just pumping these things out.
Amazing.
And then I started getting more and more like in depth and in detail and into intricate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just took so much more time, but then the process became very enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, those were, you're talking about kind of like your bigger pieces, right? And are like those like 100-hour pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many of those do you have?
Of
like the bigger ones.
There's maybe 5 or 6.
Wow. That's a huge time commitment.
Yeah.
Is it easy to like go at it and then like pick it back up again? Like, do you have like certain like checkpoints or like thresholds that you're like, I have to get to this point and then I can take a break? Like, I feel like I picture it like reading a book. You're like, you got to finish like to the chapter, you know?
I always like to get around the circle no matter what you're doing.
Wow.
But sometimes it's just impossible, because as you get to the outer edges, it gets a lot bigger and you got so much more to do.
Yeah.
Because it's good to be in that state of mind and just remember what you're doing and be like diligent with it.
Yeah, it's almost like a printer, like it's methodical, you know, and you're making a tick, like it has to be the same depth, the same thickness, the same, you know.
Because that is when you'll make a mistake, is you'll just try and do something. Oh, I'll skip ahead and I'll do this part, and then you'll go over somewhere, and now you messed up the whole thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, like mess ups do happen. If you look at like all my original ones, like if there's a print, I've probably like cleaned up some of the mistakes, but just sometimes it happens and you keep going.
Yeah, it just feels like so methodical. It's like a machine when you're doing it, like doing 9 trillion circles, or
yeah and
so
just ink on white paper. When you make a mistake, like there's no way to hide it.
It's always in ink.
Well, yeah, that's what I've done so far.
Holy, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
What happens when you make a mistake? Do you go ballistic?
In
your own head?
Yeah. Not yeah, I don't know. Typically I just accept it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the end of the world.
I can't help. Again, we're gonna have to link it to your Instagram or something so people can see the work that you've done over the years. But I always have a hard time grasping the mathematics involved.
Yeah, and that part is weird too. I do, as I've kind of gotten on, I like to work with odd number divisions.
Come on.
So yeah, like when you
call us all stupid now.
No. So when I started, you typically divide the circle into 8, right? And then you have 8 pie pieces, and then you can
with a what's it called?
With a compass.
Yeah, I was gonna say a contractor.
Compass and a protractor.
Protractor. I was trying to put those 2 words together. Yeah. Protractor is the one I was thinking of. Yeah. It has the point in the middle, and then it draws a perfect circle.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if that question's on here, but that's pretty much the only tools I use is the compass for drawing your circles.
Right.
The protractor for measuring the angles.
Right. And then it measures angles.
Then a ruler for your straight lines.
Right.
That's about all you need. I do use I have a little circle template so you can draw smaller circles, because the compass can't. It's hard to draw a really tiny circle with a compass.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
Wow. Maybe we could put up we didn't talk about this yet. We're going to start talking about it. We're doing a Patreon, but I was thinking maybe that could be something people could download. Template.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's easy to do.
A template that someone could print out and start their first mandala.
Yeah. I did even think about doing a little course to kind of
get people
give
into
you the basics and get you going on it. I think it might be helpful.
I love that.
Because there is definitely some tips and pointers.
Yeah. And it's fun to follow along with someone. It's nice to have someone kind of walk you through the first few times.
Yeah.
I feel like it's great too, because a lot of art projects, you just start with this blank piece of paper, and you're just oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I fill this places? So it's nice for someone to be able to get into art, something like this, where there is some rules and regulations and templates. It might make people feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
To be able to create in this way. So yeah, you said you were living up north during the time that you were doing it. With my brother?
Yeah, for some of it. I was on my own when I started.
Okay. I was thinking about, I remember you calling, because, Jacob was living up north and I was still living in Niagara. And I remember him, calling him, and you'd be at your mine job. Yeah. I mean, you can't get fired. Do you want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, well, I was working I was working straight night shift at a mine. It was my choice. I wanted that instead of switching back and forth from day shift to night shift. So I was at least it's just all nights. I can have a sleep schedule that stays the same.
Yeah.
I was all into circadian rhythm and stuff like that, right? Just at least keep the same sleep cycle.
Totally. We're going to talk about that next week. We have Kenneth Groves.
Yeah.
Again, we have our in-house naturopath. He's going to talk to us about that. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Straight nights.
Yeah, I was in the geology department, and we were just kind of in charge of keeping track of where samples were coming from and how much and where it was going and stuff like that. But sometimes they would just be doing nothing but clearing out all the waste in the mine, and there really wasn't much that there was to do.
I can't believe the mine operates 24/7.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah. So yeah, on slow nights, I would, if I had the time, I would just draw at my desk. So I was You know, my first year into it, I was a professional artist. I was getting paid.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that you picked up a hobby like that is just so amazing. Like, you know, people might just like sit and doom scroll.
Yeah.
For hours on end.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's what everyone else did. Sit and watch videos or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would take a piece of computer paper and keep drawing. And
yeah, it always makes me laugh now, like being your wife, that you'll pick up like whatever scrap of paper is around you. I'm like, what are you doing? It needs to be in a professional book, you know, so you can take it wherever you go.
Yeah.
You're like on birthday cards, like, here, give me that. I'll just start drawing a mandala. It's funny. Yeah, so that's great. I mean, I think that is usually people's complaint about creating art, period, is that they don't have time.
Yes, and that is my problem I have now.
Yeah, that's everyone's problem. So it's really nice that, you know, you had a job where you had the downtime.
Yes.
How did it feel? Like, what was it like drawing in those days? I'm just trying to associate it back to, like, you were doing this like really amazing, you know, emotionally healing activity without even realizing it. You know, maybe you're just going from the art background, but I'm wondering like what it felt like to do that at the time.
It was so exciting.
Yeah.
Like every time I finish something, and especially when you're starting, you'll do one and then I'll be like, oh yeah, cool. And then you'll do another one and it'll be better. And then you'll do another one and it'll be better. And it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
And because they're smaller and they don't take as much time, you see this progression like really quickly. Then sometimes you'll do one that's not so good, but whatever. And then do another one and tweak it. And you know, I really did have like a bunch of separate styles where I would get onto something and I would kind of just exhaust all the possibilities I could think of.
Yeah.
I was using neon Sharpies, and I think I said that before. I was like connecting the dots on the flower of life.
Right.
And just drawing circles in places and circles and lines in like neon colors. And then I'd like look at it under blacklight and they would look really cool. And then I was doing, actually at first I started with like pens.
Okay.
And they were like colorful pens. I think same thing on the flower of life. And then I did like the line drawings. And then I started doing like smaller mandalas. And then I was doing like the black. And then, I ended up transitioning to the black and white stuff.
Yeah. And
I've kind of stuck with that for a bit, but I've done a bunch of completely random stuff in between as well.
Right. Yeah, I think you were, you know, it's interesting at that time where you were like a young adult and maybe you're also doing this like emotional development at the same time without even knowing it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was interesting because Jung is saying that you're learning about a person from that, and I would definitely say I was finding myself when I was doing all of that.
Totally.
For
sure. Were you showing anyone?
Oh yeah, of course. I had a great group of friends up north.
Still do. They're still our best friends today.
Them,
yeah, exactly.
And so we just had a really good community there.
Yeah. And you were showing them the art?
Yeah.
And?
Yeah, mostly Darcy.
They're like, you're crazy.
Darcy got into it too. He was doing some drawings for a bit too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing. Man, if a guy doesn't have time, that's him, Darcy.
Yeah.
You got 5 kids. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I was just thinking about I mean, it's like that now. You're showing me stuff. I'm just like, holy crap. Like, how are you doing this? It's just picturing your friends being like blown out of the water. You bringing these things to them. Like, good job, bud.
Yeah, I guess.
It's different when someone's like, hey, look at this elephant picture, you know, versus like sacred geometry. It's really powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping like a portal was just going to open in my basement or something.
Oh my God. You're trying to like seance, you know, seance things.
No, but just from completing the drawing and then all of a sudden you unlock something.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. You were saying kind of that you had some like different styles. Did you mean like you were like using different shapes?
Yeah, no,
you're just like experimenting with different.
Yeah, just a different. There, you can look kind of back on my drawings.
Yeah.
Actually, I definitely don't have it all cataloged or in pictures, but there was a bunch of them that looked the same.
Okay.
And then I would get a different idea, and then I would do a bunch that way. Mm-hmm. And so I had a few different styles that I did, but
cool.
I'm really, it really blows me away when like an artist can like lock into a really specific style.
Yeah.
Some artists will do like the same painting, but they'll just do it like 100 different ways, or they'll just keep going.
Yeah.
And they'll have kind of this process. And then anytime you see a work, it's like, oh, that's that person.
Yeah, it's
you don't
almost
even
like a
need to see their name on it.
Yeah.
Because they do it that way.
Like Salvador Dali.
So that's really that really like impresses me when people can do that.
Yeah.
Because I just tend to get bored.
Yeah.
And I'll do something for a bit, but then I'll move on.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, that was my next question, is to like say, how did it evolve over time? And I think like just, you know, looking at your different work from like the original stuff to the developed complexity, I think if anything, you just kind of layered them all together now. Like when you're doing your really big pieces, instead of it like evolving to change, it evolved into like you just mixing them all together, right? It's like learning tools in your toolbox.
Definitely. Yeah, at first it was kind of like learning how to map out basic geometry.
Yeah.
And now it's to like, I don't know, just to play around with it more.
Yeah. Yeah, you already know
and
kind of what you can do.
And add in more elements, and yeah.
I think too, it looks like you've added a lot more creativity too, or it's like you might know the shape that you're working with, but you can add way more dexterity in like the shapes that you're using.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is kind of a goal, is like to make something that is like unrecognizable. Right. Like it doesn't exist in nature, something like that.
You don't want to look at it and be like, there's a rabbit. Yeah. You're just like, oh, what does it look like? 50,000 eyeballs. Yeah. Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to switch again. I mean, it's an interesting interview because I'm your wife, but I'm curious, I'm always curious with any artist about kind of self-doubt and, you know, the voices that you hear while you're doing something. For me, it really transitioned quickly. My art went from, you know, passionate as a kid, somebody else was telling me what to do. And then as soon as I became like an adult artist, it was my job. So I was like, you know, trying to get to it. I was like, pick the music. You got 10 kids, put them in the places. You know, my art's like a performing art. So I just wonder, as like a visual artist, how, you know, what your mental state is like around the creation process. While you're doing something, or are you just like, yeah, green light, everything's amazing, or are you just like, oh god, you know, this is wrong, this is bad, I don't know, like I screwed up, like I just wonder about self-doubt when
like
you're doing.
Run the gamut of emotions as you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
sometimes you'll make a decision and you'll be doing something, and then you just hate that decision, and you just have to look at it the rest of the time.
You gotta do 50 more of them.
Sometimes you just have to you'll decide just to abandon it entirely, and you don't even go back. And of course, like, there's always self-doubt in the artistic process. You just never think it's like good enough, and you're trying to like achieve this perfection that maybe doesn't exist, but totally you keep pushing for it anyways. But then sometimes sometimes you'll be doing something, and then it'll just be turning out so good that now you're scared to continue on it because you're gonna screw it up somewhere in the next like bit of it. And
right, it's so hard.
It can kind of go anyway, like, and sometimes it's just great. You get to the end of something, and even just kind of deciding what to like fill in the corners with. Like, that's always a fun part for me. And sometimes I'll just like sit and think because now I have this nice mandala, and like, what am I going to put around it? Right. And then sometimes
you got like a square paper,
go and just like just do something, and it'll come out naturally, and it's great.
I think it's interesting, a couple things, again, being your wife, knowing like what a perfectionist you are. I guess I'm not surprised that you picked like this style of art that really can be almost measured in terms of its perfection, because it's, you know, geometric. There's so much measurement involved that you can really like deem it as like, yes, every line was perfectly straight and every circle was perfectly round and every shade was the perfect, you know, amount. So,
well, that's what I go back to when I look at it. Sometimes I'll start one and I'll be like, I want this one to look more natural, so I'm not gonna use a ruler for any of the lines. I'm just gonna do them by hand, right?
Interesting.
And then I'll finish it and it'll have gone like so well that I'm just like, I wish I used a ruler for the lines. They just would have been straighter and better, right? So
you're trying to go out of your comfort zone. Your body's like, no,
exactly.
I should have made it perfect.
Yeah.
I also think it's very interesting that you pick something that has so much decision making in it. You know, that you picked an art form that is so much decision making.
Oh, definitely.
Because you don't particularly enjoy making decisions in life.
Well, see, that's the thing. I do like making decisions, but they're on things that I enjoy.
Yeah. Maybe you're just indifferent when I'm like, what do you want for dinner? You're like, I don't care. Where do you want to go? I don't care.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And really, I mean, the only person that is going to, you know, the only person you have to answer to in your art is yourself. Right. So you're not making decisions to please anyone else. And maybe that's the controversy between I'm asking you to make decisions and you're like, I don't want to. What if I make the wrong one and it's not the one you want? Then it makes you a really great husband. But yeah, I think it's interesting that it is like, it's just so many decisions, you know, every layer of your mandala you have to make decisions on.
Oh yeah. Any art piece, that really is all it is making a series of decisions.
Yeah. Especially mandala.
Yeah.
You're like, no, all of them.
Yep.
Do you remember the first art piece that you were really proud of? And why? What was so special about it? This one?
Well, I have a bunch. Yeah. I would say I was really proud of the first one I made.
Yeah.
That one kind of put me on the train and I just did something and it turned out really cool.
Was that one?
No. I have it somewhere.
Is it that one?
No, it's not. It's not hanging anywhere.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We're sitting in our
like
basement.
Stuffed in a binder. Yeah.
Yeah, we're sitting in our basement. I'll do a video for you guys for the promo and then you can see. But yeah, Jake's art's all over the wall.
Yeah, there's a few there. So yeah, that was kind of like that was the one series I did. So one separate style.
Right.
Yeah, and then we get into the big ones over there. And yeah, so the one on the right, that probably is the piece that I think has just turned out the best. And it was an interesting time in our life. That was when Annabelle was born. I was working on that one. I started it before she was born, and then I finished it when she was a baby, and I took a year off with her. Yeah. So she would sleep in the little rocker chair, and I would get, an hour or two to draw on it.
Right.
And that one I actually, the goal of that was no straight lines. So there's no straight lines in that one, except for my logo.
I'll post some of the pictures too underneath if I can. Otherwise, I'll link it to to your Instagram.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, I kind of wanted to switch gears into the the business part of. Oh no, sorry, I had one more, which was how does it feel when you finish, and then how do you start another one?
Oh, that's it. When you finish, it's like the best feeling in the world.
It's like you won a marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And even just getting close to that goal, like it's all
you
just
start getting so
great
excited
feelings.
And yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. But sometimes I'll finish a big piece like that.
Yeah.
And I won't have like the brain power to start right away on another one. I'll just be like, that was like so intense and I just want to give it a break.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll do just something fun and playful.
Yeah.
If I want to keep drawing, but
something in between.
Yeah.
Your self-portraits.
Yeah.
You started your first self-portrait last year.
I was inspired by Alex Gray, and he has many self-portraits.
He has a whole
I think
room
he does
of
one
them.
a year.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
That's crazy.
Maybe more though.
Yeah, I was like, we were there
Probably
last year
more.
when he did his self-portrait. I
Yeah, I
guess
think
that
that
if
was
it was
his
only
one.
once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it hanging again when we went back. For Ott.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Yeah, he has a whole room of them. He has like really great, understanding of self-reflection and kind of what his art means to his self-reflection. There's a lot of imagery like that in his art, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of just wanted to switch gears because well, you can speak to this. I don't know, because again, like right away out of my graduate program, I realized that like I wanted to make my art my job. And it's evolved so much. Now it's been, 15 years of me like choreographing dances, and now I'm kind of getting more into, the business behind it. So, I actually wanted to start this episode because I feel like you're so new in your art journey as a business of like, it's not for everyone, I think. Well, again, you can speak to this, but yeah, like, what do you think about when you think about trying to make your art into a business? Like sometimes it can be uncomfortable because you're ending up, it's like bastardizing. I don't know what the word for it is, but
selling out.
Yeah, you're selling out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. I've always just done the art because I loved it, and I've had a job the whole time. So I always had my financials kind of taken care of. And then I did the art on the side. But then, kind of people push you, and they're like, "Oh wow, this is great! Like you should do something with it." And you kind of think, like, "No, this is my thing, and I want to keep it." You're keeping it for yourself, but you should want to show it to people. And kind of, there's only one way to do that. You have to market it, and you have to put it places. You either have to be like the artist persona, and you have to put on a show and put it in a gallery or something like that, or you have to make prints and sell prints. So it does end up turning into this business thing if you want to share it.
Yeah, and I think we've had this conversation a lot, because I think anytime you're selling anything, there is that pressure that like, all the questions. What if no one wants it? What if I produce tons of them and no one buys them? And then I just have this stock of prints, at my house that I can't unload on someone. So I think there is like very obvious and very pertinent nerves involved, and especially when it's something so personal that it's your art, right? What if you people right away think like, oh, if no one buys it, they don't want it. And I'm not going to pretend that business isn't hard. It's so hard. So, but yeah, we're trying to work through just the understanding that people want your art. And I think it's so cool and so powerful because art is so therapeutic for people. We talked about this at the beginning, the top of the episode. Mandalas are for the creator and for the observer. Art is for the creator and it's for the observer.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to just, make you understand that it's like a selfish mentality for you to not share your art with the world, because it could change someone's life, right? Somebody could be feeling really miserable, and that piece of art brings them out of a slump, and it really does that for people.
Well, yeah, and when people come over, it's like my favorite thing to do. Like, people be like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's art that I draw." And they're just like, "What? Like, you draw this?" And then I get to like pull them out and show them. And of course, like I love people interacting with it.
Yeah.
And kind of interacting with it, telling me parts about it, telling me their view on it, seeing what they see. Like I love that, like people's interaction with the art.
Yeah.
But even just kind of tossing something out on the internet, maybe your mom and dad see it and just, hey, great. But,
it is great, because what I was going to say is that I think what you're talking about, that comes back to that hive mind, right? There's this art involved in the unconscious collective, where people like share their emotions over something, right? They have like and what a beautiful thing to share, because it's so subjective. No one's wrong. whatever they see in the art, whatever it speaks to them, whatever feelings it evokes, they're right. And it doesn't matter really what your intention was. It just, it's whatever, how they interpret it. So it's a really cool way to build community. Community surrounded by art it's the best, coming together for music, art, performance. Those are like the communities that are the strongest and the best because they're subjective and people just like are sharing the love of it. So I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So currently, how's it going with like sharing your art publicly? Like, what are you doing to share your art?
Well, yeah. Right now, I put it on Instagram.
Okay.
And I don't have many followers, but that's okay.
You have 0 followers?
No, I don't have many.
Oh, I'm like, am I not following you?
No. Well, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Do you want to talk to the fact that we're changing the name?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So yeah, since I'm drawing, even the mandalas are hard, but I like drawing patterns as well. So that was kind of something I did. I actually, when I was using AutoCAD, and I would draw patterns on AutoCAD, and it was a really great program to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But when I looked back and kind of looked on all this work, I just done all this pattern design, and I was like, well, patterns go on clothes.
Yeah.
So now I've kind of found some websites that you can design and print clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying my patterns out on it, and I think it looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited with the possibility of it. So now this could be a viable business.
Yeah.
I'm having fun like designing the clothing.
Yeah.
And
which I think is also an art form.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
People go to school for that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, your art in like drawn form is like really cool, but yeah, it also can be applicable when you put it on different like clothing. I even like, we're loving it. We made like pillows, and we're imagining, duvet covers and sheets and shower curtains.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming, relative. I really love to like our complaint. We talk about this a lot, but people's like decoration themes or like decoration trends, I think decor trends are really going in like the white box avenue. You're a contractor. It's a lot of times people are just like white on white on white, right? It's white cupboards on white walls, on white ceilings, on white floors. So this really is something that's like, it's coming as a trend because the art is like movable and changeable, and they're letting, when you talk to people that are practicing minimalistic decor trends, they kind of talk like that. They're like, oh, we want like the art to speak in the house, like the art is what stands out. So I think it's a good time. I think it's a great time to introduce like a product like this for people.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to call it Juxtapose.
You want to call it that?
Yeah. So it's going to be Juxtapose Apparel.
You already had a business license.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't want to call it that. You did call it that.
That's what I called it.
Yeah.
Because, so we called it Kaleidoscope for a while. Kaleidoscope. And we called it Kaleidoscope Designs because we did start making some products and some shirts and some pillows.
Some pyramids.
They were cool. A giant pyramid.
Pyramid.
But it was always kind of weird because my logo was just my artist name, which was, my initials, J.A.
Right.
So Kaleidoscope Designs doesn't really have anything to do with the logo.
Yeah,
the
logo looks weird that it was different than the name.
I just want to find something.
Also, no one can spell kaleidoscope.
Exactly. It's hard to spell.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find something that I liked that was the same letters as my initials. So Juxtapose Apparel.
So fun.
Works.
Yeah, we're excited.
And it's actually a perfect word to kind of describe the art as well.
Yeah.
Because it is this like very stark contrasting comparison of black and white.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you got a motto?
I
Tagline?
do not yet.
You need a mission statement.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on all those things, man. Making a website is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just getting everything all together.
I know.
It's very time consuming.
Yeah. So when can I buy some stuff?
I don't know, but soon. I would say soon.
Should we pick a launch date on here? We'll do some like goal setting.
Oh man,
we're going to Montreal in July, and we want to bring stuff. We want to be able to show stuff to.
Oh, I think I'll be up and running before then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think July is a good goal.
We have busy lives. Maybe end of March.
Yeah, right.
What? That's too close or too far?
That's so close. Like, okay. I'm planning into June for the dance studio.
No, I think I can get this. I can get what I have going.
How many things you got up there?
What do you mean? Products?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different designs. Right now I'm doing some, there's a cool collection of shoes. I've probably like seven of them that I've done.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, the shoes are great. We love them already.
Yeah. There's, and then I got a bunch of shirts, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I have no women's stuff right now. So
rude.
That just,
what do you mean? It's unisex. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
Literally
it's unisex.
all I've designed is t-shirts and shoes, and for sure it's unisex.
Totally.
Yeah. But I don't know. It'd be good just to do more.
What does women's clothes look like?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
There's options.
Yeah.
But anyways,
we're in a non-binary time period, Jacob.
That's very true. Yeah.
Everyone can wear any clothes they want.
Yeah.
I always wear boys' clothes. They're more comfortable.
And they have pockets.
And they have pockets, of course. Okay. Well, it's very exciting. I'm thrilled that we're doing this because like I said, I mean, I get it. I get that. You like to keep it a hobby and it's very therapeutic, but yeah, when that many people see it and say, where can I get it? It's time.
Yeah.
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 Cool. All right. Well, this is great. Like I said, if you guys if you know anyone that's in a similar scenario to Jacob, where they've always been really into their art and they are embarking on a business adventure, which again, for us is always that intersection, that collision between art and business, then send it to someone that might enjoy the episode. And again, thank you guys so much for all the love and support, and we'll see you next week. We have Kenneth Groves coming on. We're doing our goal is to do a bunch more wellness this year, so we're doing light therapy, which I am just cannot get enough of.
Yep.
Just like the sun, can't get enough of it.
Exactly. It's easy and it's free.
Yeah, it's easy and free. So yeah, we'll be back talking to Kenneth. We also have Heather Brown coming. We're going head to head. 2 dance studio owners in the same studio.
Nice.
Do you think we're gonna have a dance off? Can we arrange that?
Is it gonna be like a cry off?
Yeah, we're gonna cry. Who can cry harder about their problems with their dance studio? Yeah, we're just gonna have an hour of bitching and crying about owning a dance studio and how heartbreaking it is. Just kidding. All right, we will be back next week. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and you'll never miss a podcast.
Good night.